Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I usually mainly start bug reviewing and like making sure I'm alive and stuff. But I just want to talk for a bit first, just like for a minute or two. I know summer university is a huge thing, and if you're wanting to get into content, I highly want you to look into like what they're teaching and stuff. So I feel like Ludwig especially, I think he did a great job with his class. I think it's been very insightful for his like thought process and stuff. And honestly, I feel like I agree with everything. I want to implement some stuff, mainly the content funnel. And I realized a major flaw in my content currently is that the only time you see me, you hear my voice, you get a taste of my personality. It's where I'm live streaming. It's where my live streams, I usually at least get like one sub. While sometimes my shorts don't get any. And they're like very dependent on the combo instead of me. Which like if Smash disappeared tomorrow, my channel would be a mess. And I want to learn how to strive away from that. So I'm gonna be recording my live streams as well every time. Of course, the full VODs will still be up there, but I also want to like focus on clips because I think clips will help me out a lot. Now, let us focus on this phone. Make sure no one is talking. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't see anyone chatting currently, which is a-okay with me. So I'm gonna go back to the shorts chat because there's more likely to be viewers there. All right, and let's get into this. So we're gonna be watching Snake versus Steve. And I've watched most of this, if not all of this before, but it's been a couple of days. Um, they said something that I wanted to give them immediate advice, but for the most part, I don't remember what they said or what happened, and I didn't really say much other than that like specific piece that I told them. And I don't even remember the piece that I told them, like the piece of advice. Um, Snake Steve, um, one of Steve's worst matchups for sure. Hello, Motorray. And the reason why it's so bad is first of all, Snake is really heavy with a frame one escape option. Um, so because of and the escape option is really freaking good, and it's just trade of damage, and it also forces resets back to neutral, or it like cheeses, and then you just die at 50, because then you get up aired or whatever, and or like nared, you take like 40. And both of these impact the matchup a lot. Because Steve's whole thing is that Steve isn't like the stubbiest character, but he kind of has to get in your face to really like do damage to you. And especially if like you mess up anything by one frame, literally one frame. Boom, now you're taking a bunch of damage and you're resetting to back to neutral, and Snake is a neutral guy in this matchup. A lot of people don't like thinking about it, don't like talking about it, but Steve has some major flaws. His jump is one of the worst in the freaking game. Even with blocks, he can do very little about Snake recovering high every time. It's just almost impossible. The only way you can really stop it is if you catch him on the sides before he gets too far up. Another thing people don't talk about is his movement speed is really bad without minecart. Show back the main roster. I don't know what you mean. Street Fighter boss? Street Fighter boss. Uh, yeah, I don't see anything much Street Fighter boss, so I'm a bit confused why you said that. But let's talk about more about this matchup. So yeah, Steve is really slow, and a lot of people also like ignoring this. Um, they like thinking that Steve has no weaknesses when he does, and it's his movement speed's probably his biggest one. Uh, it's he really depends on minecart getting anywhere. And Snake actually deals with minecart very well. Nair kind of just goes, I hit you, and I hit minecart. And grenades will also explode minecart and hit Steve. So if they see minecart going towards them, they can just kind of throw a grenade, and if they get out of it, okay. It's like, all right. Like they get grabbed, but most of the time it doesn't matter because they have that frame one escape. Can someone follow me? Um, I do not appreciate the attempt to self promo in my live stream. I'm not gonna immediately mute you or whatever, but please don't do that. So, really bad movement speed. And the issue is that most characters can stop Snake from pulling out grenades and tossing them and tossing them. Steve is one of the worst characters at that because he does not have a projectile. Like Robin, at least he can throw thunders to like go, hey, maybe don't throw them so much. Steve has to actually go in and try stopping him, and he just can't. He can't really do it. And of course, Steve is a really good character. If your combos are really good, you can still deal a crap ton of damage. And once you have the lead, it's actually pretty difficult for the snake because he no longer sees trading damage as a win con. So let's go into this. Place a block. I think placing blocks is fine. I don't think it's really necessary. The main thing you're trying to block when throwing these is actually not grenade, it's dash attack. His dash attack is also pretty annoying for Steve to deal with. And the blocks say no. So to prevent dash attack from hitting you, I actually agree with placing blocks. I wish you took a little bit more stage control. You could have just done it underneath this platform. Because another thing is that here the grenades can pretty easily go over and hit you. But on that platform, they'll either have to land on that platform or it's just like a bit more awkward. Like you get the idea. Here you just craft. Now you have grenade in your hand. Okay, it's like okay, we have a decent lead now. And there's a grenade here. Ooh, we let go of shield a bit too early. Um, see, boom, and now it's even. Whenever you're getting hit by that, you want an SDI out or in, depending on how you think they're gonna drift with it. And it can also hit 4 to 5 times depending on if they fast fall or not. It's kind of like Byleth Nair, where they can kind of control how many hits hit you. And C4 being there is really rough. But here we go back to the corner, working on resources. Here, resources, trying to get resources still a-okay. You have enough for iron, but you also want some minecarts afterwards. I don't know why you did that F smash. I feel like those are missed inputs. I think those are like the first clear mistake. The rest of this game was kind of okay for the most part, but this was pretty bad. And now his lead, right now he's way more incentivized to just trade damage with grenade and instant cook. Not instant cook, but it was cooked and he threw it and it instantly exploded afterwards. It's not like a magical way. Another thing to keep in mind is grenades will always explode after 2.5 seconds. I thought it was 3, and Apollo cooked me partially because of that when I fought him a couple months ago. Getting hit by that rocket, that's unfortunate. Yeah, rocket is really freaking good. Rocket is broken. It is so broken in every way. And it just hits my cart and it also hits you. Minecart in most matchups really protects you. It's really broken. In this matchup, no. You should be using it purely for mobility. or to actually hit him. You can't like use it as really a defensive option because Snake can deal with that really well. And now from here, I think stock one is genuinely the most important, and you're gonna see Kyle prioritize grenade even more, especially in disadvantage. He can get away with it. That's like the plus side of Snake. That's why Snake is really good. Because he can like force these trades. But let's see what you do for me. Here, I'm okay with you placing back up these walls, but Snake can also run the timer pretty well versus Steve. It ain't the hardest thing to do because he can just go up super high and then do the grenade movement to avoid whichever directions you're covering, and then you can just go back in the air and do that over and over again. You can also like drop C4s, drop Nikita. Very, very effective. So I think after you, because you have gold right now, I think if you get diamond and you have 2 iron, or you have iron and enough iron for a minecart or two, and then you have to play a bit more aggressive. Because right now your side quests, you need like that's on the side. It's a side quest for a reason, especially whenever you're losing. Mining will not win you games, especially when they don't have to approach. Um, there's a couple other characters that can enforce this exact situation. Um, me Gunner, he there's no reason to approach in this situation. Uh, and they can like actively pressure you. Other characters they can kind of just run away, like Fox. He can run away from you. But like you're not gonna see Light doing that because he does not have the patience for that, and he's at risk of exploding. While Snake, he is not to the same degree. Yeah, you're putting yourself in the corner again. Like, don't be try taking as much stage control as you possibly can when you're in these corners. It's genuinely so important. Ooh, that was rough. I think they just reacted to the air dodge. I think neutral air dodge would have probably been the best here. But yeah, I think they reacted to it. Boom, you get hit. Let's see what you do in disadvantage. Okay, you burn your jump and then you minecart. And then they hit you. And now you have no resources. You don't really have much of a reason to jump if you're gonna minecart anyway. Like you can, it's a mix up. You can also place block. But it's not like a big reason to jump there. Um, I don't know what happened there, but that looked weird. But you see, anytime you're near him and he doesn't have a clear advantage, he's just doing grenade. So figuring out hitboxes and situations to allow you to avoid getting hit by grenade is huge, and actually punish him for doing so. Like a big one for Robin is arc fire. I showed you that one. If Snake is in the air and he's landing, down tilt's actually a really good one because he'll hit his feet, but he won't hit his hand because he holds grenade in his hand. As long as you don't hit that specific part, you're fine. You can also hit above him, like a back air, can sometimes be fine as a punish. Um, but the other issue is if he's grounded, it's especially hard to punish him. Like if he's not landing, he just does it while he's grounded. It's a lot harder because then he can just immediately shield, and then you get punished. Um, you have stone, I think. Unfortunately, you get hit by that explosion. You're just burning a lot of jumps. You can just play grounded. Snakes, aerials, if they hit you, are really freaking strong. Um, so in general, as a character who has better air mobility than you, even I'm not jumping to this level. There's just very little incentive. For Snake only jumps to anti-air for the most part. Um, and Steve, what does he get from jumping? He gets like access to back air, but not in these situations are you like gonna do a back air, you know? Like you just play ground, and the thing is, your ground moves are also really good. And only Snake's ground moves that you really need to be worried about are up tilt and dash attack, and up tilt. It's kind of just like a fast smash attack. It's not really like I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a combo tool or anything. It doesn't have any combo tools on the ground other than like maybe jab or F tilt uh into explosion, but they're not like the same as like Steve up tilt, if you get what I mean. Like they can combo, but they usually don't. They're just strong. And other than dash attack, they're not that big of hitboxes. Yeah, you're just getting hit by a lot grenade. Nice. Oh, yeah, hit by a C4. I'm gonna teach you a trick to remember C4. I think everyone should know this. If you don't know this, get out a notebook or something and write this down. If you see them place C4, just place your tongue on the roof of your mouth in the direction it's at. So if it's on the left side of the stage, I position my tongue to the left side of my mouth. If it's center, I just keep it centered. If it's on the right side, I keep it to the right. And then, like you can just do stuff like that. You can do it with your toes or whatever, but just do something with your body. Like, oh, hey, I'm doing that because C4 is like roughly here, and this helps me out a lot, especially as someone with ADHD, because I ain't remembering where that C4 is. So the moment I see it, I do something. And for the like grenade, you could count it. I personally don't, but that's also I mainly do it like off of vibes. But that is also because I'm having to count other stuff. Your bar is fully accessible to you at all times to like look at. Mine are not. So I have to like go off of vibes and also like try to remember 5 different resource bars and also like try paying attention to animations as well as a grenade. Because when I regain a resource, the bar does not pull up for it. I just glow a tiny bit of that color. So if I glow yellow for a couple frames, I have lemon sword back. And the other thing is that they have the bars recharge at different times and have different amounts of use. It hurts my brain. Here, honestly, at this point, you gotta start playing aggressive. You have enough iron. You gotta start playing neutral. Because genuinely, if you don't start approaching him, you're just gonna lose. And even then, you're most likely gonna lose. But that gives you like the best chance. Like at this point, you're gonna have to start playing aggressive. You're gonna have to start dealing with dash attack a lot more. And you're gonna have to start making grenade callouts because this guy has been doing so much grenade in uh in these awkward positions. And like yeah, you do the 101 Steve minecart and disadvantage, and he just goes boop. He's not cared about minecart. Now you're at ledge. What do you do here? Here you hang. So there's a grenade here and a thing coming down. So currently, what options are not being covered? Neutral get up is fine here. Get up attack might be a bit risky, but for the most part should be okay. And you can jump. And then he does a back air. You know the only thing you can't do in that situation? Oh, There's only two things you could have done in that situation. You could have either placed a block off stage, like underneath the stage, like planking, and then you can like grab ledge or whatever. Or you just wait on ledge. But Snake is a really good ledge trapper. Steve can honestly struggle a lot on ledge. He's really good at camping off stage with his blocks, but actually being on ledge and getting off, that is another fatal flaw of his. He has like no options to remove himself from that situation. So yeah, you either place a block off stage, underneath the stage, or you just wait. I do not blame you for doing what you did, because at the time that option was okay. Here's another thing you have to consider when getting ledge traps. There is your brain just naturally has a delay. It's called reaction time. Your reaction time is not 0 frames. By the time you see something, it's already happened. It's not currently happened. Now, it's by like 200 milliseconds, 18-ish frames, 18, 20 frames. But people do this a lot for basic conditioning. Um, they go, hey, look at me. I'm right here. I'm not covering this option. And and then guess what? They go and cover that option without seeing what you do. Or the moment they see you do something. Like me, I'll throw arc fire. I'll dash towards the fire to go like, hey, no jumping for you. You can't neutral get up. You can't get up attack. And then the moment I see something, I just input backwards grab or what's it called? It's a grab that like gets extended because you turn around. A pivot grab or I pivot grab because I know that everything I'm telling them so far is telling them to roll, and so most of them roll.
No raging
See,
today.
he just shoot a grenade after you hit him. Like he's not even really
We're
thinking about it.
starting to set up
That was
for
good.
Street Fighter 6. We'll be
He's trying to
starting in 10 minutes.
he's trying to get this 3 stock.
And
At this point, you're just playing for the 3 stock. And here at this point, you still like are gonna play. Obviously, I'm not gonna tell you to quit. But at this point, you just need to reflect and think about the moments you lost. Honestly, this is not a great thing about Steve. You can camp as hard as you can in this position. If you do not believe in yourself that you can win this game, which most people won't, when not, you can camp extra hard to reflect on this game and think about what happened against your autopilot degenerate camping stuff. And I just want you to breathe and think about it. You don't have to do this, but if you don't believe in yourself and don't believe you can win this game, like myself, I would personally I would just focus on the next game. I would not bank on winning this game. So I just focus on making sure I can win this set. Because at the end of the day, it's the set win that matters. And if you play like a bitch while you're omega down and you're just stalling, guess what? People get pissed. So you're gonna be breathing and relaxing and you're gonna be playing better future later on. And they either one just get slightly annoyed and move on, or just kind of like accept it. Um, Two, think you're stupid, and then autopilot versus you because they think they can get away with it unconsciously. They do that unconsciously, or they get tilted and they want the set to end fast, and they get reckless, and that recklessness carries on into the next game.
minutes of Street Fighter 6 starts. Thank you.
But at this point, yeah, you get up tilted. I went to skip, but you just got up tilted, because you whiffed F smash. Here we have a wall down. A okay with B. You're burnt. You did this thing again where you burned all your jumps, and then you burned all your jumps again, and then you air dodge. And then you go for a smash. When grab has more risk reward to it, or up tilt has more risk reward to it, or even like aerial jab has more risk reward to it. S smash is just a very bad option there, in every single way. You do the classic Steve minecart. You do a roll, a panic roll for very little reason, and you get caught by a grenade, and now you're back to here.
Tam and Chick for singles, please.
You get caught mashing on his shield. It's kind of like Falco up tilt. The first Falco up tilt is usually pretty safe. The issue is people mash the second one, and people don't think about the fact that when you're mashing on someone's shield, you are dealing with the minus on shield, and then you're also having to go through the startup of that next attack. Like Robs do this a lot. His down tilt is incredibly fast and not that unsafe on shield. But after like the second or third down tilt, if you have a hitbox big enough by then, because it also like pushes back on your shield a little. If you have a hitbox big enough, you can just punish it. Now of course they have to hit the button again. If they shield, then you might get punished or whatever. But that's like a thing people don't think about when mashing on people's shield. Like I play Robin, so I have really bad out of shield options. And the amount of times I've like forwarded someone out of shield because they're being an idiot and mashing on my shield too much, I'm like, all right, bro. Like you're Terry, bro. I should not be punishing you out of shield. Have you seen how Mustang plays? He plays like a degenerate. Like he plays it well. Do it. Mash on my shield well. Oh, that was nasty. Yeah, this Kyle guy is obviously very good. And here he's getting ledge trapped up till I like that back air, perfect punish. And see, you the only thing you could have done is pressured him more, stayed on this in this area more, and maybe swung at him earlier. But you would get a little bit more percent. You'd push him back. This same situation would occur. You would have gotten more percent if you pressured more, maybe gotten a ledge trap, but very unlikely it would have led to a kill, and him recovering high would basically always happen. Graham, Nikita, you might be able to punish that out of shield. I'm not too familiar with the frame data of Steve out of shield. I'm not too familiar with the frame data of that specific move of Snake. You just gave up so much stage control. Like, I think you're focusing too much on mining. That's your side quest. You just went, hey, I know you're like beating me by like 100% or whatever, but can I get something that might not even help me? Snake's just gonna play alright, throw shit behind wall, and then he actually kills you for it because you weren't paying attention. But look at that damage. Like walls are also like they're good at only protecting you from dash attack. Everything else you still have to worry about. Very similar to Cloud, where everything they do will basically break your blocks. I can do it from far away.
And the power
Ooh,
surge, please, for singles.
that's lit.
Unlimited power surge.
You get caught. Guess minecart, like defensively, really bad. So you can deal with it really well.
Warm ups for Street Fighter 6. If you want to warm up, there's one setup ready.
Boom, C4. Oh,
5
that was perfect.
minutes. When you give you to warm up for Street Fighter 6. 5 minutes.
Nice. Now, there were hey, hey, I'm covering this. Um, because it goes up and then goes back down. Um, and and if you did this earlier and mice hit you during this animation, so they're forcing you to wait and then do something. And they were, from your knowledge, they were underneath this platform. So they can deal with a roll with like a dash attack, uh, like get up attack, neutral get up, and jump all were uncovered at the time based on what you were seeing. Now, based on this animation, I don't think you jumped. Yeah, you did a get up attack. That was good, but just like keep that in mind. Reaction time. They hit you with a jab check. I get hit a good amount with that too.
I have one for you.
Yeah, homie, you're already good on iron for the few mine cards you're gonna be using. You can maybe mine to get iron, but mining should not be your priority. Okay, you didn't mine. Oh, there we go. Yeah, like wall. See, you took 32% behind the wall. The walls do not protect you from the grenades. Oh, very greedy F smash. Another very greedy F smash.
Julian and Norris,
Dash attack is not that much
please.
to that
Julian and
shield.
Norris.
I think they tried like jumping you or something. Ooh. Yeah, they're really wanting to three sock you.
Oh, never mind. Norris is an FGC. My bad. My bad.
Boom. Chuck. So currently roll is being covered. By the time you actually roll, um, the rocket will land and then you'll die. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what should I do here? It's basically a 50-50 if you actually want to get out of this situation. Because get up attack can be with punish, but everything else can be covered with a nair. So they can either nair, or you can do a delayed get up attack. If you get up attack immediately and they nair, the nair could still hit you. You won't die from the last hit of nair, I believe, but yeah. So you either get wait here for a little bit and then get up attack, or you like jump. Was that delayed? That was caught. That was caught in there. But yeah, they waited and then they was punished.
Synthetic and Dean the hero. Synthetic and Dean the hero.
Yeah, very good snake. They clearly know what they're doing. Um, but yeah, they were doing so many grenades and disadvantage. You depended too much on the usual good stuff, and I don't think you fully understood. Uh, that snake really does not care about a lot of the stuff that most characters have to care about. Now, Steve is still really good. Steve still can win this matchup for sure, but you have to understand that Snake has really good Steve counterplay just built into his kit. He does not have to deviate too much from his game plan. I hope that helps. And I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is also the last one. Now, let me make sure. Okay, cool. I am live. I am recording. Everything is awesome. Let me make sure no one's pinged me on Discord. 782 subs. Hell yeah. And now it's time to go back to the chat and a VOD review Lucina versus Mewtwo. Now, first of all, I need to talk about it. Did you see that Mewtwo, not Mewtwo, that Lucina? It's like the second worst character results wise, which is crazy to me. Um, Especially because I think they're like A tier on the Smash Bros tier list. But yeah, Mewtwo versus Lucina. Lucina, I believe Lucina is who I'm VOD reviewing. As Lucina, you just want to get in, get your hits, and frame trap the crap out of them and combo the crap out of them. Mewtwo is very easy to combo despite their lightness because they're huge, and the tail hitbox actually hurts a lot. Um, Especially when, like whenever I believe it also really hurts when turning around. And it causes for some janky stuff because they also use it in a lot of their attacks. So you can catch like the startup of a turn around F tilt and go weep. And then as a Mewtwo, really depends how aggressive the Lucina is, but you must find that space and get that Shadow Ball. You're gonna be playing it very patiently, but like very hit and runny. You're gonna be forcing them to. You're gonna be trying your best to keep Lucina on the ground because they're way better at pressuring you. Air to air. Air to air is a struggle for Mewtwo, but he is way more comfortable playing that ground to ground because he is faster. Uh, he has really good like hitboxes like down tilt and F tilt, and the Shadow Ball is also really oppressive. So here you hit him, and then you do it down air, which like won't ever hit, and then you just gave up all that stage control. Whack. Okay. Okay, we mess up again. They're getting this Mewtwo's being very greedy with the dash attacks. How do you let trap? That was very good actually. I like that F tilt. Yeah, you can just F tilt again. It's really bad out of shoot options. The only like out of shoot options you have to respect are Nair, which you should never be able to do. From F tilt or they grab, and you didn't care about either of that situation. Um, but that down air is really bad. Nice parry, and you cannot recover. I'm talking less because I can already tell. I think there's gonna be more fundamental issues. And I want to focus on those like fundamental issues. Like it's not like bad habits necessarily. Uh, and because it's not necessarily bad habits, I'd say. Uh, it just takes a little bit for me to both figure out what's going on and then relay it in a way that's understandable. Because you guys hear me, I stutter a lot. And so I have to think about words that I can say out loud without stuttering. Nice teleport. Okay, so that was a mix up. You've been doing a lot of forwarder, landing forwarder, but that was like a sign that you know how to mix up your adding layers. That is a good sign. Also, something I wish I saw more is actually like landing there. Um, Around I think around like 70% landing there into F smash will probably start killing Mewtwo. And there is really safe on shield and also a really good way to rack up damage. At least horizontally. Otherwise, she struggles a lot. Another thing you can add on to these players is you can add on falling forwarder. You can do the tomahawk grabs, and you should also add on side B. Side B is also a really good option. Uh, not Cloud, Sparko did similar with Icon with Cloud, where he would do his side B, just a multi hit. He would do back air or forward air, or he'd do side B, or not side B again, or he'd do grab. Very similar concept as with Lucina. Lucina is a very similar character. Like there, you could also nair into F smash. You go for the same thing again. I like it, but you're a bit too close. And you get caught in the startup of some move. I assume F tilt. Nice catch. No reason to commit your jump here. Um, even less reason to counter here. You just, you won't ever be killing Mewtwo with that counter. Um, and Shadow Ball's not big enough. And I don't even know that if it reflects projectiles. Nice. Okay. So it's another thing I'm immediately noticing. You, whenever you're going in, you're holding W, and it's like with your drift. What's your drift? Let's see if I can go back. Okay, yeah, see there? Max shift, max shift. You go in as far as you can, get caught, and then look at this, look at this, look at this. Here, they are pressuring you with a big giant ass move. And here they are forcing a really scary 50-50. You successfully jump in, but look, you did a very like max drift. It gets you the kill, but just be mindful of that. Don't be afraid to drift back. Drifting back is super scary. As swordies. Like it's really hard for like characters to deal with drifting back with your sword aerials. I do it a lot. Versus faster characters. Um like as Robin, I especially do a lot as Wolf. It's actually really annoying finding those hits. Because he's just faster than me and has really good hitboxes. And you also like back up and do laser. And Mewtwo can do similar where you can back up and just throw Shadow Ball. So you really have to like implement drifting back when landing. Like here, you drift in and then you drift away because you recognize the situation. I'm glad that you did drift back. We recover low. We F tilt. Commit our double jump and we get caught. We didn't throw out a hitbox. It would have been pretty safe to do like a back air here. They hit us. We commit our double jump. This means you could be better about canceling their shadow balls. If you tap it, you don't have to hold up shield. They're just looking for the skill at this point. Nice punish. Bounties were emming those side Bs, good. And the SD. We take those. Do not, never submit SDs, do not go, oh no, you'd be like, hell yeah. I got a good amount of XP from that happening. There, you always want to, but you can go for up air, which is fine. If you're gonna do it, you probably want to do an instant double jump so you get as much height as possible. You can potentially combo into a second up air. I especially like doing that at low percent versus like heavies, but you can also go for back air. And back air like gives you more stage control, does more damage, I believe, and it can lead into more like down throw into back air into like up air. I've hit before. It's not like a true combo or anything, but I've hit a good amount when playing Lucina. Now here it's frame trapping, and the moment you see this teleport, you gotta ask yourself, why are they teleporting? Well, you can't really ask yourself in the moment, but you just gotta know. What is easier for me to cover and safer for me to cover? Is it the corner over here, or closer to the center, like underneath this platform? And the answer is usually covering here. If they land on this platform over here, you don't really care because then you just swap them because they weren't horizontal enough, I believe. But they'll probably end up around here, and this is the safest thing to cover. If they end up teleporting over here, it doesn't matter because you still have stage control. See, look, I'm a knower. Dash attack's also pretty bad. As we've seen it to my knowledge, and just like F tilt, it's basically better in most ways. Um, That might just be a Marth thing, but not at least like for Marth, it's like that. Like they can just F tilt, and Lucina and Marth are very similar. Ignore me if you know I'm wrong though. Like if you're like for sure, just like ignore me. Oh, you're okay. We get out. You can just like grab them or up tilt. Or you can side B, or you can neutral B. You can just like you just apply the classic mix-ups. I don't like how you committed to covering low, because even if you hit him with that forwarder, then you just like teleport and they'll be fine. Just focus on not losing the stock. I like that run away. You're actually like learning pretty fast and adapting pretty fast. I think there's just like some fundamental issues with your risk reward, and I feel like you naturally like just like committed to like this is no, don't do this. Shadow Ball can hit Leching. They can easily just like run up down tilt. In general, this is not something you should be doing. And like I got you killed. Nice. Ooh, I actually like that neutral B attempt. That was a good mix. Ooh, uh-oh. Oh, greedy, greedy, greedy. You've been very greedy. Yeah. So I feel like you're like slowly adapting and adding in layers, but you gotta add those layers in a lot faster. Um, and I feel like you're just very greedy in general. Very, very, very greedy and doing some really, really weird things like stalling on ledge to deal with Shadow Ball when it can hit Shadow Ball ledge. And you just like did a really random jump during it that got you killed. Very weird decision making, frame trapping. It can definitely be worked on. Um, I liked how you're slowing implementing things. I like how you recognize that, and your drift over time became less clear which way you're gonna drift. But you need to do that like immediately. That should be like the default stuff. And the moment you see that option A no longer works, try option B or C. Do not be afraid to, especially if they're pretty safe. If you're in a situation where option A is pretty safe and the others are like really bad, then maybe go for option A again. But at least, especially at the start of a game you've never fought before, it's usually pretty easy just to go for option B. Sprago does this a lot, especially for players who he doesn't think are the greatest. Like whenever he fought Icon, uh, at that one tournament, he did layer one and then it didn't work. So he did layer two, it didn't work. So then he went to layer three, and it was just like a constant like back and forth with those situations. Whenever he was landing on Icon's shield. So yeah, there's some things to keep in mind. I wouldn't really say you had like any crazy bad habits, which is an amazing thing at any level. But I think your frame trapping could overall work better. You didn't really hit anything crazy. Look into like Nair 1 stuff, like Nair 1 into F Smash. Like, don't be afraid, especially if you're gonna like land on someone, don't be afraid to attempt to go for Nair 1, because that's like the only real way you find early kills is Lucina, other than edge guarding. Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, just watch out with your like those very basic like falling forwarders. I just get my like your get to, but you generally want to like drift back with it as you land to make sure like it's perfectly spaced. Um, they pair like for the skill level, they parried it a couple times, which is scary for the skill level. That means they know that like they recognized it and like had it down for the most part. And most people around the skill level are not very good at parrying, which means it was probably very obvious. I have to little bit there, but I hope you get the main idea there. I don't think of anything else to say. Stage was fun. I'm okay with PS2. In this matchup. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end stream. I'm honestly really tired. Uh, And that's all the vlogs. So I hope you guys have an amazing